Minnesota, 2025. A 20-year-old welder, Amber Mary Czech, was killed at her job at Advanced Process Technologies in Cokato, Minnesota. According to court documents and local reporting, a coworker is now accused of attacking Amber with a sledgehammer in what investigators have called deliberate and unprovoked. Out of respect for Amber and her family, in this video, we'll focus on verified information from criminal complaints, law enforcement statements, and trusted news sources. Most of us spend half our lives at work. We stand beside the same people every day, and we trust that we'll make it home when the shift is over. But in November of 2025, inside a manufacturing plant in Minnesota, that trust was shattered. In this documentary-style true crime episode, we're breaking down the Amber Czech case, what allegedly happened inside that plant, and why it has so many American workers asking if their workplace is truly safe. The question that continues to trouble many is this: how could something like this happen in a place meant to be safe? The Amber Czech case unfolded on November 11, 2025, just after 6 in the morning, as another workday was beginning at the APT manufacturing plant in Cokato, Minnesota. Workers arrived, machines started up, and the day seemed like any other early shift in rural Minnesota. Shortly afterward, emergency calls came from inside the building.
Ambulance 40 medical at 170 Swindra Boulevard Northeast for a 22-year-old with major head trauma, blood loss, not alert.
According to the criminal complaint and surveillance footage, DeLong allegedly walked past Amber's workstation. Moments later, he returned, picked up a sledgehammer, and struck her. The complaint states that the first blow was delivered horizontally while she was standing. As she fell, 4 more downward strikes allegedly followed. Another employee later told investigators that DeLong approached him and said, "I hit her with your hammer. She's gone." When law enforcement arrived, officers say DeLong was taken into custody without resistance. In this video, we're breaking down the Amber Czech case, the alleged sledgehammer killing at Advanced Process Technologies in Cokato, Minnesota, using only what's been reported in official documents and verified news coverage. There were cameras, there were witnesses, and yet the question remains: how did no one see this coming? To understand the weight of this case, we need to know the woman at the center of it, Amber Mary Czech. Amber was just 20 years old. She lived in Hutchinson, Minnesota. Earlier that year, she had completed a 10-month welding program at Alexandria Technical and Community College. She had recently begun working as a welder at Advanced Process Technologies in Cokato, stepping into a field still dominated by men. Those who knew her said she showed up early, worked hard, and stayed out of conflicts. She was simply trying to build her life, one shift at a time. Her instructors and co-workers described her as focused, motivated, and proud of mastering a difficult trade. Welding wasn't just a job for her. It was something she had worked hard to build a future around. Out of respect for Amber and her family, we won't speculate about her private life. What we do know is this: she was young, hardworking, and standing at the very beginning of her career. And that's part of what makes this case so difficult to process. Amber wasn't involved in any arguments. She wasn't confronting anyone. She was simply doing her job. The The man now accused of killing Amber is David Bruce DeLong, a coworker in his 40s who worked at the same facility. According to court documents, he knew Amber only as a colleague on the floor. Investigators say DeLong told police he didn't like her. As of the time of this recording, there is no documented history of disputes, no previous incidents, and no official reports of confrontation between them before the alleged attack. Prosecutors emphasize that the surveillance footage, along with DeLong's own reported statements, points to intention. Not a reaction, not a fight, just a decision made in a place where Amber should have been safe. And that leaves a haunting question. Why would a grown man allegedly target a 20-year-old coworker he barely interacted with? Investigators say they still have no clear motive, only actions. At the time of this recording, David Bruce DeLong has been charged with second-degree intentional murder in connection with Amber's death. Prosecutors have also said that a grand jury may consider elevating the charge to first-degree premeditated murder, the most serious homicide charge in Minnesota, based on the evidence gathered and the nature of the alleged attack. It's important to remember, DeLong has been charged, not convicted. He is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The final charges and any eventual verdict will depend on what a jury decides after hearing all of the evidence. Amber's death shook not only her hometown, but also the broader skilled trades community across the country. Everyone from tradeswomen who consider themselves part of the trade fam to workers who simply believe that every workplace should be safe. In the days after the tragedy, friends, co-workers, and community members launched an online fundraiser to support Amber's family and help cover funeral expenses. Donations came from people who knew her personally, and from many who didn't, people who simply felt the weight of what had happened. The messages left on the fundraiser page and across social media reflected the same sentiment: deep sympathy, shock, and a shared sense of loss. At the same time, tradeswomen across the U.S. began posting about Amber's story on social media. They shared photos, personal experiences, and calls for safer workplaces, using hashtags like #JusticeForAmber, #WomenInTrades, and #SafeWorkplaces. Their posts resonated widely. Many wrote that they had felt unsafe at times, worried about being isolated during shifts, or feared that reporting concerns would lead nowhere. Advocates for workplace safety, labor groups, and experts also joined the conversation, urging companies to take proactive steps. Stronger behavioral threat assessments, reliable anonymous reporting channels, mental health and conflict awareness training, and greater support for women working in male-dominated environments. Advanced process technologies temporarily halted operations and stated they were cooperating fully with investigators, offering condolences to Amber's family. But beyond official statements, what mattered most was the public response. Hundreds of posts, comments, and messages saying the same thing. This could have been any of us. This wasn't just a crime. It was a shock to the system, a reminder of how fragile workplace safety can be and how quickly trust can be shattered. And it raised a question thousands of workers are now asking. What will it take to make sure something like this never happens again? Amber Czech was young, hardworking, and at the beginning of her life. Her family lost a daughter. Her co-workers lost a colleague. What do you think? Are today's workplace safety policies enough? Should companies do more to evaluate risks among employees and take warning signs seriously? And how can women, and all workers, be better protected on the job? Share your thoughts below. This video is part of a long-form true crime documentary series looking at cases of workplace violence and systemic failure in the United States. If you want more deep-dive, documentary-style true crime coverage like this, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.